Hello friends, my name is Ramsu. Today we shall discuss about topic the overloading concept in object oriented programming or OOPS. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in object oriented programming and you want to learn about it. So let's start, friend. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, the method overloading is basically a very important concept in object oriented. Like we have a concept of the basically the concept of like polymorphism. Other concepts are there. So similarly, object overloading is a very important concept in object oriented programming. Now see, method overloading in object oriented means that a class can have multiple methods with the same name but different parameters or different types of parameter. That is called as the overloading concepts. It allows a class to provide multiple implementation of a method based on the number or types of its parameter. So you can have a same method in a class. So we know that a class is basically consists of two things: parameters, attributes, and the methods. So this type of method has the same name but different types, different parameters or different types of parameters. So this is called as the concept of overloading. This way developers can create more flexible and expressive APIs within a class. Now let's deep dive into more in detail about overloading. First thing is the same method name. Friend, when we talk about overloading, it always has a same name. The method name is always the same, and basically you have multiple methods within the same class, but the name will be remain same. The compiler, basically when you compile the code of a programming language, the compiler differentiate between these methods based on the number, type, or order of their parameter. Friend, compiler is basically a software program which basically convert the source code into a byte code so that it can be understood by the hardware. So this is called as the concept of overloading. Then different parameters. Friend, it is very important that in the overloading the types of the parameter must be different, like must have a different number. Like for example, one method has two parameters, another method should have three parameters or different types of parameter. So only the return type alone is not sufficient to distinguish overloaded methods. So let me give you an example here so that you can understand it more in detail. For example, this is an example of a public class calculator. Here are the overloaded methods with different parameter. For example, this is the public integer type, return type is integer, add, and this method takes two input, integer a, integer b, and it will return a plus b. Okay, so this is the one overloaded method. Similar, another method, public double is the return type. Okay, like 2.5, 4.5 is another type of a double, and add method with double a, double b, it takes two input parameters, double a and double b, and return a plus b. Okay, so another example of add method is public integer add. It will take three parameters, integer a, integer b, integer c, and it will return a plus b plus c. Okay, so see from here, this is a very good example and very simple example of overloading. See, this is the method add, which has which basically defines in a three manner. In the first, it takes two inputs, integer inputs, and return the type integer. In the second, it takes two in double parameters, double like 2.5 and 4.5, and it will return the double type as well. Okay, then the third one is also the integer type. Here it takes three inputs and return the integer type as well. Here it is very important to understand, friend, one thing here, that if we use the same the same data type here or the same number of parameters, so it will create a compiler error. For example, it's already written that it takes two input integer, and if I just remove this integer c from here and from here as well, so it will create an error. Okay, so we must have to understand that overloading means that the method name is same, that this is add, this is add, this is add. So method name is same, but the parameter type could be different, or the number of parameter could be different. For example, here there are two input parameters, and here there are three integer inputs are there. Okay, then here the parameter type is different. This is the integer, this is the double. So either the parameter data type should be different, or either the number of parameters should be different. This is necessary for overloading a method. Then compile time polymorphism. Friend, method overloading is a basic example of a compile time polymorphism, and it's also known as static polymorphism. The decision about which method to call is basically made by the compiler at the time of compile time, and based on the method signature. When we talk about method signature, basically we are talking about its integer, its data types and return type, etc. Then benefits. Benefits of the method overloading is that it improved code readability. Method names can remain the same, making the code more readable and consistent. Convenience, that means developers can use the same method name for related operations, reducing the cognitive load. There are few limitations as well for the overloading method. First one is that the overloading method must have different parameter list. Changing only the return type is not sufficient for overloading. Ambiguity can arise if the compiler cannot determine the appropriate method based on the provided arguments. So again, friend, there are few advantages and there are few limitations as well. However, overall, method overloading is a very important concept in the object oriented programming. Now take another example. This is the appropriate add method is called based on the number and types of the arguments provided. Here see, this is the public class main, public static void main. Calculator, we have created an object of the calculator class. This calculator class we are referring here. Okay, then we have called integer int sum1 is equal to calculator dot add 2 comma 3. So when we call this, okay, it will call this method, okay, this method, because these are the two integer parameters. Okay, then double sum2 calculator dot add 2.5 3.5. so when we call this, so it will, compiler will use this method double add. Okay, then when we call this sum3 calculator dot add 1 2 3, okay, there are three parameters and these are integer parameters, so compiler will call this method integer add int a int b c. Okay, so basically friend, overall method overloading contributes to the expressiveness and flexibility of code in object oriented programming, allowing developers to create more intuitive and readable APIs. However, it's a very important concept, overloading in object oriented programming. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video.